All right, so at the time of this recording, it's about 30 days until GenCon, and I'm really excited. I just signed up for a few events, and I already have my badge, obviously. So yeah, it's winding down to to that time, and I'm really excited about it. So I figured that I might as well just go ahead and share my top 10 things that I'm looking forward to about going to Gen Con this year. Um, Without further ado, let's get into it. So, first thing would be just being in downtown Indianapolis. So, last year it was pretty amazing. I really enjoyed just the vibe of the area. Walking around, people seem generally kind of friendly, I guess. But it was really just like the different types of restaurants. I enjoyed those, just the food and the vibes, the ambiance of a lot of different places that I went to. So I'm looking forward to experiencing that again. Also, there were a few places that I didn't get to go to. So shout out to a few of my colleagues that gave me some suggestions on where I should be going, such as Milk Tooth. I guess that's a place that I should be going to get brunch and whatnot. I guess it's apparently a little expensive, but I do love a good brunch spot. So looking forward to that. Hopefully I can get to it this year. I should be able to. So yeah, definitely looking forward to spending more time in Indianapolis. Just the nightlife, seeing what that's like, and maybe checking out a few more things locally as opposed to just focusing on what's happening at Gen Con. So number 9, I would say would be competing. So last year I had the opportunity to attend a launch party for a game called Quest. That's not the full name of the game, I don't believe. But what we did was we went in and we just played a few games, and the team that won the most out of all of those got to take home a copy of the game, and I was one of the individuals in the team that won, so I was really excited about that. It's interesting because like a lot of people don't like when you're going into this and you're playing with strangers, they don't particularly know you. They don't know like how whether or not you're like good at these types of games, social deduction games and whatnot. So I feel like that really gives you an advantage if you're someone that is good at those types of things. Just because of my style of play, I tend to not, show all of my cards metaphorically and literally. So yeah, I did pretty well, but I want to see if I can win some other things. I know that there are a couple of other different types of games that are doing where you're invited in and you pay for your ticket, and if you end up winning the most, you'll get to take a copy of the game home. I don't know if there's any launches happening, but so that would be great if I could get a new game. But I know that they're doing like a Codenames duet tournament, so that seems like it's going to be interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I can get a dub and take home a copy of the game. I don't have Codenames duet. I've actually never played it, so I'm going to go to one of the demos early on in the event on the convention, and then hopefully go to the tournament and just clean up. So yeah, that's the plan. So number 8 definitely would be LARPing. So I've never got the chance to LARP before. And for those of you that don't know, LARP is an acronym that stands for live action role playing. And I'm really curious about it because when I imagine what it would be like for me to open up a gaming lounge of any sort, I think of it as it being something where people are interacting with the environment in a way to where they feel like they're immersed in something or are role playing in something and can actually physically interact with what is happening around them if they so choose. And that would even involve them, particularly just since it's a lounge, I'd want them to be able to just interact without them moving from their seats potentially as well. And also if they choose to be able to get up and do some other things and whatnot. So yeah, that's how I envision it. But I figured that I should, at the very least, start to experience what LARPing is like in the more traditional sense, so I get a better idea of what people tend to respond well to and what people tend to shy away from. So, especially if they're new to it. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking to observe based on this and kind of experience as well. But I do feel like there are a lot of people do LARPing that they just don't know that's what it is. That's not what it's typically called. Like, say, for example, the murder mystery dinner party things, those types of things. Maybe even improv comedy, where people get up and interact with what's happening on stage, or escape rooms. Those are definitely like a form of LARPing, in my opinion. So, what I'm looking to do is kind of bring that sort of mainstream version of it, but just in a different and unique way that people aren't used to. And I'm looking forward to being able to see more aspects of that are happening at Gen Con, so I can just better get a better feel of what that's like, I suppose. So yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a ticket to True Dungeon, which is like when I looked that up and I saw what it was, because I looked and it says that it's like $88 for a single ticket, and literally every single one was sold out. I'm like, how is this possible? This must be insanely popular. People love this. And I looked it up online. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is something that I imagined back in the day, like as a kid, like wouldn't it be cool if this existed? And here it is, and apparently they've been around for like a long time and I just didn't know. But yeah, it's really insane. And so I wasn't able to get a ticket to this. I definitely gonna try next year if I go again, just so I can experience it. But $88 is insane for a ticket price. Like that's kind of just crazy, but it seems to be worth it if they sold out every single one. And it was not. Uh, there's not just a few of them. There's a lot of these. So yeah, that whole idea is just really exciting for me, and I want to just be able to experience it firsthand. So, but I was able to get tickets to something else. There's like an adventure dungeon crawl, I think it is. That seems like it's somewhat similar to that. I know that there were other LARPing sessions happening there, but I didn't want to spend too much time doing it out of the day. Just 2 to 4 hours, 6 hours for a lot of these. That's a bit much. I could see myself doing it maybe next year if I really enjoyed it and wanted to do it more. I don't remember how long exactly the True Dungeon ones were, but yeah, it's like 6 hours seems like a bit much. I don't know, but yeah, I know I played D&D before, so and I do enjoy that. So I guess LARPing is kind of like the upgraded version of that, I suppose. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So number 7 would be Rap Gods. So I'm looking forward to playing this game. I've heard about it. I don't even remember exactly how I found out about it. But when I saw it, I think I was like just searching in BGG for different types of things, music related things or hip hop related games. Just the concept of the game, it kind of is, I don't know, it's iffy for me because on one hand, I'm intrigued by the concept, but also like the types of things that are in it just seems like a bit too stereotypical and almost parody aspect, or parodying, or like making fun of the culture, I guess. And like, I don't know, it just, I'm really curious to get, because to my understanding, the artist that did it is going to be doing these sessions. So I just kind of want to see if I can pick his brain about what the whole idea behind it was and get a feeling of like, because on one hand, I've thought about this myself. It was like, how do you introduce people that aren't a part of the culture to the culture without feeling like you're pandering? I'm interested in playing it, yes, and learning about it, but I'm mostly interested in just learning about the rationale, I suppose. And I get that this is just the artist, not the actual game designer. I don't know if they'll be present or not, but hopefully they are, or hopefully they would have some sort of insight into what the game designer had in mind for this. But yeah, that's definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Just seeing the game, playing it, and getting some idea of what this is about, because I'd love to know. So yeah, number 6, Dice Tower Live. So yeah, I am a huge fan of Dice Tower. I love Tom Vasel's stuff. I love Z and all the rest of the guys. They like I really enjoy what they do, and I went to the last one. I went to last year's con and saw them live there, and it was just a great show. It was funny. I laughed a lot. I like the energy there. I like just learning about different types of games every single time that they do one of these, and it's just great content. I love the format that they have for those types of things. So I don't know what the specific topic is. I'm sure that they have already got it planned and whatnot. And last time I spoke to Tom Vasel before, like I ran into him in the exhibit hall and he told me what the concept was. So I'm sure he'll probably do the same if I run into him again. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Dice Tower Live. Number 5, and this is crazy because like we're getting down to like the stuff that I'm really, really looking forward to. And number 5 is definitely, without a doubt, 2 Rooms and a Boom. This should have been up higher. Man, I don't even remember how I initially heard about this game prior. But I heard about this game and then I saw that it was going to be played, or that it's run at GenCon, and I was just super excited to play this. I wanted to play it so bad, and when I played it, I was not disappointed. I fell in love. I was just like, wow, I love this game, because we're like my game group is like really into social deduction games. I like Coup. I like Werewolf. I like Resistance. Resistance is hard to play. It's really like just taxing on you. I can't play that game over and over again. Like I have to take like 5 or 6 months break in between like every game session of that, because it's just too much. It's too heavy. But I do enjoy like those types of games. And 2 Rooms and a Boom is such an easy, very like low key, like very like what's the word? It's low effort, I guess. But you can put more effort into it if you wanted to. But since you're playing with so many different types, so many people in general, it makes it easier to play and easier to learn. It's a well designed game. It's set up so that it just maximizes on the amount of fun that you could possibly have. So like I love how you can keep the basics, the basic roles there, but then you can just throw in all these fun roles once you understand the concept and whatnot. And it's just a really good game. I enjoy it so much. I'm looking forward to playing it. I realize that I don't necessarily need to buy tickets to that per se. I can just buy a bunch of generic tickets and then use those for 2 Rooms and a Boom. So yeah, I won't be buying 2 Rooms and a Boom tickets at all. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's going to be so fun, man. I'm so excited. So yeah, number 4 is just the exhibit hall in general. And this may seem kind of obvious and whatnot, but like the exhibit hall, there's so much. There's just so much stuff. You could just literally not sign up for a single event and probably just go through the exhibit hall the entire 4 days that you're there. If your goal is just to experience everything, you could legit just be there all day. Because like as soon as you run into a game that you're interested in playing, you could just literally just be playing that game for like the entire time, the whole day, basically. But there's just so much stuff there. Like there's so many things for you to walk around and see and interact with and people to meet that it's massive. It's just a massive thing. It's probably the one of the best things, if not the best thing about the convention is that exhibit hall, because there's just so many different things and everybody's trying to show you their game. Everyone around you is interested in games in general, like because that's what the con is about, right? So it's just a great place to be if you are a gamer or a game designer or a game seller or anything. If you're into games at all, like this is the place to be. And the exhibit hall is the thick of it, like that's where everyone is. And I'm lucky because from what I've heard, that GenCon last year is a lot of people's favorite GenCon because it was just not nearly as much people as typically go because of the obvious reason. Hopefully that this year is going to be similar. There probably might be a little bit more, but I'm hoping it's not like wall to wall packed. And I'm thinking that it won't be wall to wall packed because I don't believe that it's sold out yet. So still 30 days left. I mean, it could end up being sold out, but as of right now, it isn't. So that's a good sign. I'm hoping that it is very similar to how it was last time, so that like people have said that it's just really just taxing just to navigate or walk around and see things because there'd be so many people shoulder to shoulder in that exhibit hall. But if that's not the case, then I'm sure I will have a good time. All right, so number three. Yeah. So this is kind of a part of the exhibit hall, but also just mainly in general of just the concept of playing new unreleased games. That is something that I enjoy quite a bit. It's just something about it, even if I didn't even. So like when I went into Gen Con last year, for example, I had no idea that Mythic Mischief existed. I didn't know that was a game that was coming out, but I just ran into it. I saw it, and I saw the setup of it. Like I saw how they laid it out and how they were demoing it and stuff like that, and I got to play it, and I was excited for it. I was like, "Wow, this game is crazy! I love this game. It's so clean. It's so interesting. It just feels like a game that I would enjoy. It's like arguably one of those perfect information games, aka abstract. But yeah, it was a fun game, and I was excited to be able. I'm always excited to be able to play games that have not been released yet because I like just new things in general. And new unreleased is like the best the best version of that. And so yeah, I went immediately to the Game Found and pre-ordered it or whatever, or backed it or whatever you want to call it, just off of me finding that at Gen Con. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing new games, and that's one thing you can do is just walk around the exhibit hall and do it that way. But another thing that I did was the first exposure playtesting. So yeah, that's where people are, still trying to, actually build a game, actually put their define what their game is. It's not even nowhere near, or at least most of the time, isn't near ready to put on the shelf yet or send out and launch. And this is the opportunity to just help people out and give people feedback on the games. And I love doing that. Like that is just that makes me feel so good when you can see someone that is just trying to bring joy to other people, and you get to come in and help them get to that point to where they can finally realize their dream and make other people happy. It's like it's I can't even explain the feeling of what it is, but for me, it's so fulfilling to be able to help people out with their games in any way. And I get it, like anyone that's probably had me as a playtester, maybe they feel like I can be critical of their stuff, especially when it comes to TCGs and stuff like that. You have to be realistic about those sorts of things. And I definitely feel like I'm able to contribute something at least. Definitely not as much as probably others, but I've played competitive card games and I enjoyed them, and I've also attempted to design them as well. So like I know a bit about them where I feel like I can contribute in some way towards that, and yet. But anyway, the first exposure playtesting, like that's really fulfilling for me, and I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. So yeah, playing new unreleased games, like that is top three for sure. All right, number two. And that would just be in general meeting new people. There were a ton of different people that I met there for the first time, like semi famous people in the gaming community, like Tom Bassel and whatnot, but also game designers, just gamers in general, people that are writers, and all types of people. Like there are so many different types of people, and they're all willing to talk about games. I met a guy that like happened to be playing, be a Yu-Gi-Oh player as well, and then I ended up running into him at a tournament later on. Like that was kind of crazy. So yeah, there was a lot of there's a lot of different types of people to meet, and I think that that's hands down for sure one of the best things about going to a convention in general, or any type of large gathering of people, is just being able to meet them. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But my number one thing that I'm for sure looking forward to is trade day. So yeah, like I'm trying to get into the tabletop gaming industry, and there are quite a bit of different, I guess, seminars or talks that are happening on trade day about just different things related to, opening up a game store or building gaming communities, and all of these things that I am trying to do. And I would just love to be able to talk to some people that have already done it, or other people that are also interested in doing this, and just picking their brains, or just being able to hopefully offer some sort of value to them, being, that I have skills in the digital landscape as well. So yeah, like I'm super looking forward to that aspect of it. And yeah, and so if anyone runs into me or sees me at this, like as I just said, I'm really interested in meeting people, but I'm also really interested in learning and providing as much value as I possibly can to people that are on their journey. I would love to be able to help people. That's just something that I enjoy doing. But yeah, trade day, super looking forward to that. Yeah, I will actually be having a trade day badge, I believe. So yeah, last year they separated trade day into two parts, and I was able to go to some of the later trade day stuff, and I without a badge. And I think that was just because it wasn't on the first day, but I'm not entirely sure how that worked or why that happened. But yeah, I was able to meet people and go to the mixer and stuff like that in the same sense. So I know, and I met a designer there as well. So like a very seasoned designer. So like I know how valuable those mixers are and stuff like that. Like it's crazy. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's my number one for sure. So yeah, GenCon 2022. I am super excited for this. This is gonna be crazy. I love the convention, but I also love the city. I love, like, there are a ton of honorable mentions I could have gone into that I'm looking forward to. Like man, like even where I'm staying at, like all the different types of games and different types of seminars and just events that I plan on attending. Just so looking forward to it in general. This is gonna be crazy. If you see me, please come up and say hi. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right, thanks for watching.